What started as a tip from a local Walmart customer concerned about milk spoiling before the expiration date has become the most viewed story on Wayne.com.
The Indiana State Board of Animal Health is responsible for inspecting dairy farms, processing plants, and tanker trucks that haul milk.
Well, Dirk and Tara, there could be a number of reasons why milk may spoil before the expiration date, but in order to understand why that is, we first have to take a close look at what those dates mean.
Your milk may already be compromised before you even pick it up from the shelf. At Walmart, reports show jugs left sitting out on loading docks while staff take breaks, letting bacteria gain ground long before it's chilled again. Yogurt stacked under trays of raw meat, shredded cheese that refuses to melt. This isn't a price war, it's a supply line breakdown. The cold chain is a frontline battlefield, and cracks here mean exposure. Do you know which retailer is leaving your diet undefended? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. It looks like calm shelves of dairy, but what if every jug is part of a broken supply line?
Still, Molly Blakeman, a spokesperson for Walmart, says the company is committed to providing quality products. A woman who told News Channel 15 she bought 3 cartons of milk from Walmart, and they all went bad well before the expiration date.
That's the battlefield few notice. You stand in front of neat rows of gallons, cartons, cups of yogurt. They appear safe. But what you don't see is the trail behind them, the hidden custody chain where discipline can either defend your health or hand it over to bacteria in silence. Milk leaves the farm cold. That's its first command. Keep it under control, keep it chilled. From milking parlors to tank trucks to the processor's steel silos, temperature is watched like a vital sign. But once it leaves that secure station, the discipline shifts to drivers, to dock workers, to store staff under stress.
And does not believe these complaints are connected. Blakeman says there's about 2 complaints for every 1,000,000 gallons of great value milk sold, generating 750,000 page views and complaints from viewers in more than a dozen different states.
And that's where the battle starts to loosen. Dairy isn't stable like canned goods. It doesn't forgive pauses. Every degree gained outside safe range gives unseen organisms space to multiply. Official statements present confidence. Corporate chains point to policies, safety protocols, internal audits. Files show guidelines that sound solid on paper.
What started as a tip from a local Walmart customer concerned about milk spoiling before the expiration date has become the most viewed story on Wayne.com.
The Indiana State Board of Animal Health is responsible for inspecting dairy farms, processing plants, and tanker trucks that haul milk.
Well, Dirk and Tara, there could be a number of reasons why milk may spoil before the expiration date, but in order to understand why that is, we first have to take a close look at what those dates mean.
Refrigerated trucks, target ranges, daily case checks. But then you hear another account and the picture turns. Workers speak of pallets dropped at outdoor docks, crates of milk standing in a humid hallway until staff circle back. Minutes stretch into an hour. In that time, warm air starts its work. Cold that once locked bacteria down fades, and freedom of movement returns to microbes ready to expand. An hour at room temperature may not look like much to you. The jug still feels cold because its mass holds coolness longer. But inside, that delay matters. Bacteria don't wait politely. They use every lapse like an enemy army rushing through an open gate. Studies prove it. Organisms such as Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli pick up momentum with even small rises in heat. They duplicate faster, stacking one cell atop another, launching growth curves that cut days off a product's life. What looks like fresh milk on the shelf is already on borrowed time. The cold chain is logistics, plain and simple.
When shopping for milk, one of the first things customers check is the date on the jug. The phrasing may vary. Use by, sell by, best by, using multiple different plants across the country. She goes on to say it's very unlikely that these comments are connected. But what do those dates really mean?
We think that something is supposed to be telling us don't eat this food after that date when that's really not what the date is telling us at all.
Picture it as troop movement in hostile ground. Lose timing or lose coordination, and your force risks collapse. A pullback in one unit exposes the flank on all sides. Similarly, if milk warms at just one checkpoint, the entire supply is compromised. There's no reset button. Even if it gets cooled again, damage is established and stability is weakened. Evidence of this breakdown is visible when customers take that product home. Reports show store brand gallons spoiling early, not by weeks, but several days short of the printed date. You pour and smell sourness ahead of schedule. Shredded cheese clumps into chalky lumps that resist melting in the pan. Additives try to mask the issue. Emulsifiers and preservatives hold structure longer. But once base ingredients falter, the result is poor performance you can taste. These aren't random chances. They follow weak handling like tracks in the dirt. And here's the part that shakes trust.
And while many consumers put their faith in them, those dates are not federally regulated. It's important to note that different suppliers provide milk under the Great Value brand. In fact, they're not even required to be printed on any product except baby food.
Walmart operates a system vast in size and heavy with resources. If cracks appear in their cold chain under such scale, then what should you expect from smaller stores with thinner margins and lighter oversight? Sell-by dates start to look like estimates rather than guarantees. That number printed on plastic means little if the milk spent part of its journey abandoned at unsafe temperatures. Your family never sees that lost hour, but your health still pays for it. The tactical truth is clear. Thermometer checks inside cases have shown readings not at safe refrigeration levels, but creeping upward, even hitting 48 degrees. That reading is not a warning. It's confirmation that bacteria already have the upper hand. At that point, putting a jug in your cart is like inviting the enemy past the gates. When the numbers climb that high, your choice is simple. Walk away. Protect your own supply line, because that product is already breached beyond repair. But Walmart is not alone. Their sheer size makes failures more visible, but they share the battlefield with other chains that play under the same conditions. Each has weaknesses, each has habits that open seams in the cold chain. And once you start watching closely, you see just how common these cracks really are. The dairy cold chain is not a backroom detail, it is the front line. If it fractures, exposure is immediate, and the enemy is microscopic but relentless. One gap in temperature control, one lapse in store discipline, and the shield that protects you breaks down. You have to treat your grocery run like an operation. Feel the cases. Check the seal. Look for signs of early spoilage. Never hand trust to a shelf that may already be breached. Subscribe and join a community that trains to spot hidden weak points on any front where safety, survival, and vigilance decide the outcome.